Okay, parents, grandparents, teachers of any kind, what if I told you there was a way to improve a child's development? A way to improve and expand their cognitive, social, and physical skills. Now, what if I told you there was no need to order, schedule, or sign up for anything? This golden ticket to a better future is completely free. On the edge of your seat yet? Playtime. If you're looking to ensure a brighter future for your child or looking to help a child currently struggling in these or other developmental areas, simply take the time to play. As a mother, I know the pressure is placed on parents to make sure each child reaches their milestones in the appropriate time frame, the endless worries about them being on track and developing properly. It wasn't until I was buried in research trying to find the best way to get my son excited about learning that I realized that progress, education, it can all be accomplished through something as fun as playtime. The children of today will be tomorrow's politicians, lawmakers, activists, world leaders. They'll create the world we live in. Therefore, it is of the utmost importance that we provide them with the knowledge and skills to do so. Here we'll discuss how to effectively teach our children through play. First, we'll review the types of play and how to teach our children the basics of human interaction. Next, we'll cover the changes in the human brain and development of cognitive skills as a result of consistent playtime. And lastly, we'll review the numerous physical benefits of regular play. I'll begin by revealing the different types of play and the effect on human development. Healthline.com states there are 6 types of play proven important in early childhood development. Healthline Parenthood published the findings of American sociologist Mildred Parton Newhall. She states there are 6 types of play that can be used to aid in childhood development from ages 2 to 5. The 6 types of play are as follows: unoccupied play, independent play, onlooker play, parallel play, associative play, and cooperative play. Unoccupied play is defined by Parton as the most basic type of play. Essentially, during infancy, the baby moves their body with no specific purpose other than that it's interesting and fun. This type of play can be achieved through activities such as tummy time, where the infant lays on a blanket and can just kick and squirm around. With tummy time, your infant will learn how to hold their head up and eventually how to roll over. Independent play is also known as solitary play, and it's simply when the toddler plays alone and is able to entertain him or herself. This type of play, as the author of the article, Lindsay Gudrit, states, usually begins around 1 year of age, and it's accomplished with the use of literally anything around the house. Your child can use their toys, a cardboard box, or go outside to play. The importance of this stage, as confirmed by Dr. Karen Richardson Gill, who specializes in pediatrics, is that we as adults cannot expect to bond with others if we're not comfortable by ourselves. Onlooker play is an inactive form of play where the toddler, around 1 year of age, watches their children and adults to see how they interact. This stage shows your child how to associate with others, and which in turn then teaches them the skills necessary for getting along and coexisting with others. This can be accomplished by the toddler watching other children on the playground, or even parents and siblings showing them how to do daily chores, how to knit, how to play an instrument or a sport. Parallel play is demonstrated when the child, usually between 1 to 2 years of age, is playing in the company of others but not with others. This, like onlooker play, is the best way for a child to learn exactly how to interact with others. Gudritz recognizes that one of the pitfalls of this type of play is the unavoidable mind breakdown commonly had over having to share toys. However, Shearmind's parents at this phase means that they are working towards understanding how to interact with others. Associative play, Parton distinguishes as your child or learning to play with other children. However, their play is not yet being organized towards a common goal. When your child demonstrates that they can execute this type of play, it's advised that you introduce things such as painting or building blocks, activities that can reach a foreseeable goal. This type of play is geared toward toddlers about 3 years of age, as Dr. Gill confirms, because their attention span is now much longer. Cooperative play, Parton says, is where you can see the beginnings of teamwork, playtime with others, and for an organized purpose, as demonstrated in sports. Gudrid states that as far as play goals go, this will be your child's final stage. This stage is generally accomplished between the ages of 4 and 5, and it's why most co-ed Little Tyke sports need that age for their entry. As you can see, progression through these 6 types of play, unoccupied, independent, onlooker, parallel, associative, and cooperative play, you can help your child accomplish the key components of development, human interaction. While we can appreciate the need for attaining proper social skills, I am aware that cognitive progression tends to rank a lot higher for parents. Playtime is essential for the developing human brain along with its cognitive skills. Allow me to explain how playtime can affect the anatomy of the developing brain and how playtime remains essential for children even as they grow. NPR published the findings of a researcher from the University of Lethbridge named Sergio Pellis. He stated that playtime actually alters the human brain. His studies yielded evidence of changes in the connections of the neurons at the front end of the human brain as a result of playtime. John Hamilton, the author of the article, explains that changes in the prefrontal cortex during childhood that aid in the setup of the control center of the brain. This area assists in the regulation of emotions and aids in problem solving and planning. Hamilton also stated that a recent study showed that the best predictor of academic performance for children in the 8th grade was actually their social skills in the 3rd grade. And as we examined earlier, those social skills are first developed via the 6 stages of play in early childhood development. Hamilton provided a statement from Pellis's research which says that in countries where they have more time allocated to recess, children are shown to have better academic performance. An article published in the Smithsonian Magazine reveals reasons why Finland's schools are so successful. The article explains the measures each teacher in Finland takes to ensure every child's progress in school. An interview conducted by Linnell Hancock revealed that teachers in Finland not only spend less days in school, but of those days, they actually spend less time in the classroom than American teachers. Finnish children are assigned less homework and allowed more time to play outside, even through the winter months. One teacher stated, "We have no hurry. Children learn better when they are ready, so why stress them out?" So how does Finland's approach to education measure up statistically? Well, 93% of Finnish graduates from both academic and vocational high schools average 17.5 percentage points higher than those of the United States. Of those individuals, 66% go on to higher education, which is the highest rate in the European Union. What's especially interesting about the academics and curriculum of Finland is that, as Hancock reports, they spend nearly 30% less per student on education than the United States does, while yielding better results. Could this be a direct relation of the lack of time spent physically in the classroom and the extra time allotted for play? Although I'm sure this isn't the only factor, more playtime would transmit to less resources and tools required, as the children are accomplishing more of their learning and developing outside with free play. The information surrounding the links between playtime and brain development are astonishing, so it's a wonder why, if the numbers are there to prove it, schools in the United States are instead cutting back on the time allocated to recess for children in school. Now that we know the importance of play on developing brains, let's examine the effects it has on the physical health of children. Active play doesn't just aid in the social and cognitive development of our children, it also progresses their physical development, as well as reduces their risk of weight-related medical issues. Physical activity teaches young children both fine and gross motor skills, and as they continue throughout their childhood and into adolescence, physical activity remains as an important part of their growth by furthering their physical development and reducing their risk of childhood obesity. During my son's first doctor's appointment, my husband and I were inundated with timelines and lectured endlessly on milestones. It was all too easy to get wrapped up in the worry, but what I didn't realize is that all of the major feats the doctor was looking for my son to have accomplished within his first few months could have all been achieved through playtime. My son and I read books during tummy time and looked in funhouse-like mirrors to see our silly faces. We made funny noises back and forth while he looked up at me, kicking and flailing about, and we talked and sang while he sat in his little boppy. These activities were teaching him vital gross motor skills and developing his physical strength. Tummy time strengthened his neck and taught him to pick his head up and roll over. The kicking and flailing strengthened the muscles in his limbs, and with help from the boppy, my son soon learned to sit unassisted during our conversations and songs. The effect of playtime on physical development doesn't end after infancy. Dr. Fiona Bull is the program manager for surveillance and population-based prevention of non-communicable diseases at the World Health Organization. She states that for children under 5 years of age, improving physical activity, reducing sedentary time, and ensuring quality sleep will improve their physical and mental health, well-being, and prevent childhood obesity and associated diseases later in life. The interactions between physical activity, sedentary behavior, and insufficient sleep prove to impact the physical health and well-being of children. Thus, the Commission The Commission on Ending Childhood Obesity has mandated a clear guide on how much physical activity is needed for children in their first 5 years. Infants, those under 1 year of age, should be physically active intermittently for the 9 or less hours they spend awake throughout the day. This includes at least 30 minutes of tummy time. Children who are 1 to 2 years of age should spend at least 3 hours being physically active at any intensity level. And children between the ages of 3 and 4 should also be physically active for 3 hours a day. However, at this age, at least one of those 3 hours should include moderate to vigorous physical activity. Physical activity has been encouraged for all of those who seek to live a healthier lifestyle, and as we've seen, this holds true for children of all ages. Playtime will surely contribute to better physical health, and it will help reduce the risks of childhood obesity. Now that you're aware of the social, cognitive, and physical benefits of playtime, it's time to put our words into action. If your child or any child you know appears to be struggling in these developmental areas, encourage them to play. Explain the benefits of playtime to anyone involved in the development of a child. Show the research to anyone who believes that screen time can be just as effective in educating children. And as for you, get active, channel your inner child, and start playing again. We as parents and caretakers have a very important job. Each child we raise is a contribution to our future, a contribution to society. It's our responsibility to teach them all that we can. So why not make it fun? Make time for your child's future. Make time for play.